Alright, so I'll be honest, the update brought a lot more changes than I thought there were going to be. So I'm going to go over some important things that you really should know before you dive into Update 2.0. So first off, they actually have finally revealed what Fjorm's special ability is, and this is a new feature added into the game, and they're basically called blessings. So first off, Fjorm is the first of a new category of legendary heroes. So basically these heroes, or these legendary heroes, are going to come with an element, and it's going to be either water, wind, earth, or fire. Fjorm is obviously the water element, and each element has a corresponding blessing. Now, blessings are a one-time use item that you can give to a unit. They grant that unit double SP, so that applies anytime, so you can use it on your favorite unit if you really want. However, if the element of that blessing also matches the current season, and the unit is deployed with a legendary hero with the same element, then that unit will also receive extra stats. So, for example, during a water season, a unit with the water blessing will receive HP plus 3 and speed plus 3 when deployed with Fjorm or any other legendary hero with the water element. So, every season will feature two elements. And you can see which elements they are on the home screen in the top left corner. Each season also changes at the same time as arena seasons change, so that's going to be once per week on a Monday. Blessings can only be used once, and they cannot be removed from the unit once you give that unit the blessing. They can be changed, however, but the first one that you gave them will be lost. You will not get it back if you apply a different blessing to them. There's not going to be a lot of chances to get blessings, so make sure you think very carefully about which unit you want to give them to. Personally, I would wait a little bit before you give a unit a blessing. We're not really sure how or what impact these blessings will have, so I think waiting a little bit will be worth the while. So I will be making a separate video covering the healer skills in detail, but for a quick summary, I think a lot of them are actually pretty strong in my opinion. Of course, that's just a quick glance. We're going to have to wait a couple weeks before we see just how much effect the healer buffs have affected the game. So one thing to note is that all staff upgrades, so when you upgrade with refining stones and arena medals, the special upgrades actually have two choices, and you can choose a version of the staff that has either a Wrathful Staff effect or a Dazzling Staff effect. If you're not familiar with either of these skills, Wrathful Staff allows healers to do full damage in combat, since they actually only do half damage after damage calculations. Dazzling Staff basically makes it so the enemy cannot counterattack. So you actually can upgrade your staff to have one of these effects and then also run the other B skill, and then you basically have a colorless mage who can't be counterattacked, and that's pretty crazy. I would also like to mention that some of the assist skills, so the healing ones such as Rehabilitate, also when you upgrade them, it gets rid of the special cooldown +1 effect, which actually really sucked. So now you're going to be able to have Imbue with only a 1-turn cooldown or Heavenly Light with a 2-turn cooldown. Maybe some other skills can be run now that you don't have to sacrifice an extra skill cooldown, which I really don't think was needed in the first place. So oh boy, the weapon refinery changes are pretty crazy, and honestly I've been having a tough time wrapping my head around every single change that has been introduced. So as a summary of some of the things I've noticed is that daggers got a pretty decent buff actually. So I didn't actually think daggers would actually get this good of a buff. A lot of them got AoE debuffing, so instead of single target debuffing, and those debuffs are also stronger or have better other effects. Also all the dragon brats, at least 3 of them, also got buffs, and basically what all of them have in common is that against ranged enemies, now Dragonstone users will use the enemy's weaker defensive stat to calculate damage. So what I mean by this is that normally dragons will take into account the enemy's resistance since their attacks are magical. However, against ranged enemies, at least for now, when you attack them, it will take into account either their res or their defense, and whichever one is lower will be the one that's used in damage calculations, and that's pretty crazy. So dragon users can now deal with all these units that have pretty high res. So in general, a lot of the regular weapons actually got additional or stronger effects. I was pretty hopeful that they would do something like this and not just give all of them stat boosts, although a couple weapons did in fact just get stat boosts, so that kinda sucks. However, a lot of weapons such as Berkut's Lance, the Zambato, and even a lot of the seasonal weapons got different effects or got their effects tweaked. And that's definitely going to change a lot of things. Now there's just so many different options out there for heroes that people will have to take into account, and honestly it's going to be pretty crazy. Also, I would like to mention that a lot of the legendary weapons which got upgrades actually just have insane effects, super strong effects on them. So some of them, like Lin Sokadi, is really crazy. Jafar's Deathly Dagger is actually insane, and even the Hauteclair that Minerva and Michaelis uses has like a Woe Dao effect now. It's insane. So I would honestly say that these are going to be very impactful, and in the future when other legendary weapons get upgraded, oh boy, there's going to be some crazy effects added to them. So if you started playing the first chapters of book 2, then you'll notice that there have been some new faces that we meet. And essentially these new characters are, I'm almost like 100% sure these are the next banner units, which is aptly entitled Children of Fate, and all of them are children of the Fates characters. So we have Shiro, who is Ryoma's son, Siegbert, who is Xander's son, Soleil, who is going to be Laszlo's daughter, and Rajat, who is Tharja's daughter. So if any of them interests you, you can go online and look for their full builds or their full skills and stats if you're really interested and you want to save for that event. Maybe you don't feel like pulling on the current Legendary Heroes banner or any of the other banners. I'm pretty sure these are going to be the next units that are going to be available, so you can look forward to that. So just a couple of miscellaneous things that I would like to mention to you guys is that the older Sacred Seals can now actually be forged, so some of the ones like Distant Defense, most importantly, I know a lot of you have been asking about that one. You can now forge that one if you really want to. Also the Weapon Refinery materials, we actually found out how you can get them now. So refining stones have been added to the weekly arena rewards in both regular arena, the offense ranking, as well as the arena assault weekly ranking. You can also just literally farm arena medals by winning matches in the arena. From what I can tell, I'm not entirely sure how many medals or how many arena medals you get per match. It seems to be a little random. I definitely seem to get less if you lose units in the match, and you do have to win the match to get arena medals, but they are farmable. Also, there are currently quests out that give 70 refining stones and 700 arena medals at the moment, so if you do all of that, you'll get enough to at least upgrade one weapon. And you can get it seems like you will get 50 Divine Dew when you upgrade a regular weapon using refining stones, so you're actually going to have to upgrade a couple regular weapons before you're going to be able to upgrade these legendary ones. And honestly, it just seems like these legendary weapon upgrades are going to be quite rare. I also want to mention that people have discovered that every time you summon a Fjorm from the Legendary Hero Summoning event, you also get another Water Blessing item. So I think I forgot to mention that you do get one free Water Blessing when you get the free copy of Fjorm from the story missions, or story maps. So you do get one for free, but they obviously want people to spend more money if you want to get more. Also at the moment there's a double SP and XP event going on right now, and I'm pretty sure it lasts at least for either a week or at least sometime till next week. I also want to point out that I believe Fjorm gets 2 times the SP already, because I think the game considers that she does already have a Water's Blessing. So that's something cool. It makes Fjorm easier to level up or get more SP for all her skills. So that's all I wanted to talk about for now. Obviously I did not talk about everything, there's just so much information coming out of this update, and I will be making sure to update you guys in the specific videos that I make for topics such as the healer skills or the weapon refinery. So make sure you're subscribed if you're interested to find out. I'll be doing my best to put out these videos as fast as possible. However, there's definitely a lot to sift through, and I want to make sure I take into account all the different weapon upgrades, all the different healer skills, and what you could possibly do with them in future builds. That's it for now. I will see you guys soon in the next Fire Emblem Heroes guide.